0-0 in this bronze medal game here at the Calgary Cup. We're waiting for the teams to make their appearance on the ice for the second period. The officials are out there, and the United States just making their presence felt. And so we will be getting underway in the second period. Everybody's shorthanded, of course. 5 players will be heading straight to the penalty box. A reminder that Team Canada will be continuing its series of games against the Soviet Union. They'll be playing on January 5th in Hamilton, and then next Wednesday, January 7th in Ottawa, as the Soviet Union completes its tour of Canada before heading home to resume play in their respective teams in the Soviet First Division. There's Dave King, I think pretty happy with what he saw in the first period in terms of the style of play that his team was giving him. I don't think he was very happy with a couple of undisciplined moments on the part of his players, especially his goaltender. That's the one thing you don't want, is to see your goaltender in a fight.
By the way, Ron, 13 penalties called in that period for 32 minutes. The U.S. team had 19 minutes in penalties. Team Canada, 13. And as you look at Craig Patrick, both teams will start this period 2 men short. Eventually, Canada will have a 5-against-4 power play, and eventually a 5-against-3 power play. I should say a 4-against-3 power play first of all, and then a 5-against-3. That is barring other penalties.
I'm glad you're saying all of this, Dan, because I can't figure that mess up out on the clock. We've got a player with 1:20, another player with 3:04 left in a major, another for the United States. Let's take a shot of it. There it is. And then a 2-minute minor that hasn't even started and won't start for a while for the United States and Canada, with goaltender Sean Burke's penalties with 1:04 remaining, and the Claude Vilgram penalty with 1:25 remaining. So through all of that, there's going to be some variance of manpower out on the ice, and we'll just try and keep you abreast of who has the advantage as it falls, as the cards fall, as it were.
1-0 in favor of Team Canada. Here we go with the second period. And immediately, Taglianetti for the United States dumps it in. Chris Chahaki in to try and get it. Stiles ties him up. Chahaki couldn't center. He jams up on the boards with Ryerson. Doucette coming in. Puck does come loose, and here's Stiles. Almost lost it to Chahaki. Now dropping it to Ryerson. Dave Ryerson moving in, shoots one wide by a couple of feet. Doucette got the puck and then fell down. Here's Chahaki. To Taglianetti. Over to Chris Chahaki. He overskated it, and right back the other way, Doucette. Doucette shoots one, and that hit Taglianetti and bounced wide. Now Turcotte trying to move out, and there'll be another penalty to Team Canada. This time Doucette will be thrown off for high sticking. From the Saddle Dome, this is the Calgary Cup, live on CTV.
Benoit Doucette is second on Team Canada in terms of penalties, and he picks up another one here, just giving his man a rough ride up against the boards. Roughing is the call. Referee right there to call it.
I said eventually, barring other penalties, Canada would have a manpower advantage, but we have another penalty now, so the teams will continue 2 men short, and the advantage Canada would have had is nullified by that penalty. Here's Mersch to Cronin for the United States. John Cronin fell as he hit the blue line. Now Zalapski into center ice, getting it to Ken Berry, one-on-one against Mersch. And it rolls off Berry's stick. Mersch and Berry do battle. And a good play by Mersch to clear it out into center ice. Now the United States clear it in, and now Team Canada has too many men on the ice from the way I count them.
Well, that's 4. Doesn't seem like a lot, but well, let's see. We've got 1 penalty still being served for Team Canada, 2 for the United States. And the whistle was gone, and I think you're right, Dan. Well, shouldn't there be? Well, we're into this whole thing now of trying to keep track of penalties and so on, and I think the referee's gotten confused a little bit.
or the penalty timekeeper.
Yeah, and I think we've lost a penalty or so on the board. All right, Brad.
Watching the referee, you know, if I was a referee, I like this guy's attitude, his style. The more people he has in the penalty box, the less people he has on the ice, and then he doesn't have to keep, it's easier to keep track of people on the ice.
Come on, team. Come on, gang. Come on, Red. Nothing has happened here. And you're right, I think, Dan, I think he just simply lost track of things and looked up at the clock and then went over to the timekeeper and said, am I wrong or are you wrong? And the timekeeper said, you're wrong. And it's 4 against 3 skating.
Yeah, Canada will have a man advantage now. The only penalty on the clock for Team Canada is that last one by Doucette. So a 4 against 3 power play. Here's Cliff Ronning. Ronning, number 27, dropping it to Felix. Over to the other point. Here's Zalapski, scores! Zarley Zalapski, Ronning may have tipped it.
Well, if it was tipped, Dan, it was a very tippable shot. Perfect low-level shot as Zalapski let it go from the blue line. Now, watch the whole play here as they float through. It'll be sent back to the blue line. And here's Zalapski teeing it up. Watch in front of the net, see if there was a tip. There was not. That was a clean shot.
Oh, Zarley Zalapski just plumb beat Daskalauskas. And that's a bad goal to give up from a guy pulling the trigger from out at the blue line, and that can deflate a club because now you start looking over your shoulder and you say, is this goaltender, is he going to be here for this whole game or what's the story?
That's Canada's second power play goal of this game, and they lead it 2-0. Zarley Zalapski getting it. And it's 2-0 Canada. Zalapski from Ronning and Felix, the scoring play. 1:48 the time. Here's Cliff Ronning, who scored the first one, helped set up that last one. Each team, by the way, a man short again as Ronning fires it in. Zalapski couldn't get it. Bill Graw, back of the net to Ronning, knocked away by Sawkins and controlled by Dunn. Now the United States on the attack. Long shot by Chanel and a save made by Daskalauskas. Or by Burke, I should say. Back comes Felix. Chris Felix. Taken out. Back of the net, Sawkins. Beats the first man and starts to carry out. Each team still a man short. And it's dumped in. Ryerson for Canada. Firing it into center ice. Zalapski leaving it there, and here's a chance for McLaren, but he's checked. And Middendorf has it for Team USA. Middendorf leaving it for Taglianetti. Now to Vargas. Shot it in. And back is Ryerson for Canada. Canada back at full strength. And Team USA now back at full strength as well. Here's Team Canada. Shervin moving in, taken out by Middendorf. Now McLaren. Back on the point to Stiles. Return to McLaren. Missed him, and Middendorf fires it off the boards into center ice. Finally, the teams are back at full strength. Ryerson cleared it. Dumped in by Shervin. Taglianetti battling on the boards, and then they hold it there. 2-0 in favor of Canada from the Saddle Dome. This is the Calgary Cup, live on CTV.
Try new Whiskas and see for yourself if your cat prefers it.
2-0 Canada. I guess it could have been 3-0, and it had it been 3-0, Cliff Ronning would have had 3 points. He would have assisted on the Joseph goal that was taken away. Quite a game for the young fella.
Here's a loose puck bouncing into the United States end of the rink. Turcotte back to get it. Missed it, or it would have been icing. And it is Zalapski on the board trying to work it free. Now cleared by Carpin into the United States zone and shot over the glass by Daskalauskas. In the NHL, that would be a penalty. In international competition, no.
No, but it's not. That's a long distance to be clearing it over the glass in international hockey on the wide ice surface, but he got it up and over and managed to halt the play. The delay of game penalty is not a serious problem in the international hockey. They really don't look to freeze pucks along boards and so on. That's why they've never made an issue out of clearing the puck out of the rink. Cup Worsley never played international hockey.
That was Neuendijk in forechecking, cleared into center ice. Meckling knocks it down. Now it's Cronin. He's upended by Carpin with a good body check. Number 11, Turcotte for the United States. And offside on the right side was Micheletti. Turcotte let the shot go anyway, and a few Team Canada players tell Alfie that's a no-no.
Look at Von Carpin there from the Manitoba, Minnesota. Played the University of Manitoba. There he is, a good collision there as he takes his man out. That's the reason why he's on this team. He's noted for a solid defensive player. We're talking at the outside of the broadcast about assembling this team, and I think that the 12 or 13 players that Dave King seems to think are going to be around next year are all defensive players, but the ones he has here are very solid defensive players and play very well in this style of hockey. Need some offense.
Here's Team Canada with Barry carrying into center ice to Mark Habscheid, number 24. Habscheid lost it, gets it back again. Shot behind the net, and Sawkins has it for the U.S. Cleared into the corner, and Donnelly for the United States. Into center ice, just out of Chihaki's reach. Tony Stiles back to get it. Stiles, number 4. Canada down to 4 defensemen with injuries to Trent Yanni and Larry Trader. And they brought in today Brent Meckling from the University of Calgary as now look at Mark Habscheid of Team Canada.
Well, Habscheid, Team Canada, of course, his second time round with this hockey club. Number 1 line as far as offense is concerned with this team, but as you can see, it hasn't produced that much so far.
By the way, the Team Canada's made an interesting change in the Ronning line. They have Ronning, Fabian Joseph, and Bilgra. There's a shot. That line's out there now for Canada. Felix at the point, trying to center. Bilgra into Joseph, number 8. Back for Bilgra. Now to Ronning. Back to Felix. Shooting. Daskalakis. Ronning. Rebound, and Daskalakis stopped that. Back comes Johnson, but that's a 2-line offside. And we'll get a face-off back inside the Team USA blue line. So they've taken Don McLaren off that line and put him on another line and have Joseph out there. And this line has been very good for Canada tonight.
There's the shot. Good pad save made by Daskalakis on Felix. Shot from the blue line. Daskalakis, who's given up 2 goals, and the third that was called back, is under fire here. Shots on goal. Canada now has kind of taken control here. 17-12. Favorite Team Canada.
Shot from the point. Daskalakis made a save. Penalty coming up here. And somebody is going to go to the penalty box from the Saddle Dome. This is the Calgary Cup.
On the back, Classic and Classic Light. Our best to your friends.
Taglianetti picking up his second penalty of the game. Watch the area in front of the net as one of the Team Canada players is going in there. That's not bad. Was that Bill Graham got upset there? And so Taglianetti goes for 2.
And Canada scoring both of their goals already on a power play. Now with the man advantage. And we're going to get a penalty right here against Zalewski. And there goes the manpower advantage down the drain. Lance Roberts, the referee from Edmonton. And he's ruling with an iron hand.
He has got the book in his hand is what he's doing. And this one a very borderline type of call, but there's interference there. And you're going to get called on that sort of thing if the referee is, as Dan said, ruling with an iron hand. So Zarley goes.
I've seen that kind of, my boy plays hockey, and I've seen that kind of refereeing. And it's, you know, what it does is really slow up the game. Where the game moves along, it's very frustrating for the players because now you get in a situation where you're really afraid to touch anybody or do the little things to help a teammate like interference. But what happens, it makes you very tentative when you're going in up and down the ice.
The other thing is, of course, it really messes up coaching of the game because you just can't get your lines together. You can't get any momentum going in the game one way or the other.
Here's Turcotte trying to center for the United States. Couldn't. And Canada now coming to center ice with Doucette. He's being hacked at by Micheletti, who's up there forechecking. And Micheletti tried to grab Doucette, got away with it. Here's Ryerson. In across the line. Doucette centered. Loose in front. And a shot by Sherman turned aside by Daskalakis. And now penalties against each team going to be assessed right here. And Benoit Doucette and Sean Cronin will go towards the penalty box.
Well, let's just see what happened here. Sherman gets the puck in the slot. Puck just came loose, and he was right there. He shot it. Down he goes. Now, where's the penalty? Let's see. That wasn't it. That was just the shot. And so, through all of that, we got people in the penalty box once again for Team Canada. It is Benoit Doucette again. And for the United States, it's Sean Cronin.
And again, each team will be 2 men short. And they've had plenty of practice at this in this game. Ronning, the only Team Canada forward, gets the face-off to Ryerson. Ryerson back to Ronning. Now Sockens for the United States. Clearing it into center ice. Mike Donnelly after it. Ryerson trying to tie him up. Ryerson dropping it back to Felix. To Ronning on the fly. Only Sockens is back. Ronning circling, waiting for some help. Flip Ronning. Over to the point man Felix to Stiles. Here's Stiles carrying out in front. Backhander, he scores!
Well, Daskalakis lost his stick behind the net. I don't know how it just came loose. Now watch in front of the net. Stiles is the one behind the net. There's the stick was yanked out of his hands by his own players. Cutting behind the net was Donnelly, and Stiles winds up all alone in front of the net, playing against the goaltender without his stick.
A very heads-up move because he puts it along the ice where normally the stick would be.
They also played too much attention to Ronning, and the defenseman in front of the net went with Ronning and let Stiles walk right out in front.
Watch it again, and watch for the stick. Well, that's about as fast a goal as I've ever seen, Brad. Canada's got speed, don't they?
They do. I think Cliff Ronning really drew a lot of attention on that 3-on-3. Everybody seemed to be concerned about him because he had held on to the puck for about 10-15 seconds prior to that. But Stiles just comes out from behind the net and makes a very heads-up play, moving the puck along the ice by Daskalakis.
Stiles from Ronning and Felix. Ronning has a goal and 2 assists. Felix has 3 assists. It's 3-0 Team Canada. That goal coming with the team's 2 men short. Now Billgrom getting it to Felix. Now to Schreiber, number 7. Schreiber circling to get away from Brett Hull to Chris Felix. And they drop it back deeper into the Team Canada zone. Billgrom getting it back to Felix. Chris Felix has 3 assists in this game. Drops it to Billgrom. Moves in, shoots. Oh, Daskalakis save. They score! Schreiber on the rebound.
What a vicious rising shot by Billgrom. Watch it from the blue line now as he just drops it off. Now moving up and getting momentum. Now the rising shot, he took it off the face mask. The rebound is there. Daskalakis, give him some credit for maintaining his cool, but he still couldn't handle the rebound. Up off the face mask. Down it goes. Going to his backhand and putting it in is Wally Schreiber, and it is 4-0.
A native of Edmonton is Wally Schreiber, former International Hockey League scoring champion. Schreiber from Billgrom and Felix. 8:19 the time. That's 4 assists for Chris Felix in this game. 4-0 Canada. Here is Hapshide moving in. Teams are now 1 man short. Puck shot behind the net. Here's Dunn in to try and get it. And Richie Dunn leads a rush for the United States. In on the wing, but Volacek was in ahead of the puck and offside at the Team Canada blue line.
Well, there's Daskalakis, who has been a little beleaguered. He has given up 2 goals in the last 3 shots he's faced. 22 total in the game for Canada to just 12 for the United States, who have had just 1 shot on goal in this period. Canada out shooting them 8-1 and taking control, Brad.
I don't think you can fault Cleon Daskalaskis on that goal. Definitely, he made the initial save. It's 3-on-3, but he's not getting much help out there. It's the same kind of help that Mark Barron got last night against the Czechs. Zilch.
Here's Felix for Team Canada, shooting it in. Back is done. Over to Rolacek. He loses it to Hampshire. Back of the net to Barry. Now the penalized players back on. And we're at full strength for one of the few times in this game. Here's Dunn from behind the U.S. goal. Out to Chahaki. To Rolacek. Back to Chahaki. Zalapsky took him out of the play. Rolacek gets it, but Felix is there to shoot it away. Now Taglianetti. Trying to hold it in, does, but he knocked it up over the glass into the crowd.
Tasty. Very new, tastier, tried it. The sugarless flavor breakthrough. Very, very.
With Ron Roos, Brad Park, and Dan Matheson, Dan Kelly at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. 10:32 left in the second period. 4-0 in favor of Canada. And Canada forechecking. Nieuwendyk cleared it. Taglianetti takes over for Team USA to his defense partner Campidelli. Now Campidelli shooting it to center. Canada carried back in, and it's offside at the United States blue line.
Members of the Czechoslovakian national team who are taking this game in here at the Saddle Dome tonight. They're going to be playing for the gold medal. Talking to the Soviets a little earlier, and they are a little worried about this game. There is the Soviets signing autographs and watching, but I think they're getting ready for a little bit of a tussle tomorrow night.
Here's Nieuwendyk to Karpin, backhander. Great save by Daskalakis on Von Karpin from the edge of the crease.
Should mention that we'll be on the air, of course, with the final game, the gold medal game of the Calgary Cup, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Good backhand there. Try to get it up, get the goaltender going down, but Daskalakis handled it.
Now Canada with a line of Doucette, Sherbin, and McLaren. So another major line change in this game by Team Canada. McLaren in earlier games had been on the line with Ronning and Vilgra. And they've broken up Habscheid and Sherbin. Here's Sherbin out playing with Team Canada changing on the fly. Into center ice. Here comes McLaren and a cross. Now Doucette knocking it in, but it's taken by Cronin to Mersch, who shoots it in for the United States. Digging in, Scott Johnson. Stiles behind the net. Nice little pass to Doucette. Doucette fell. Johnson held it in to Doria in the slot. Dorian shot wide. Stiles trying to clear it. Number 18, Dan Dorian. Centered. That's deflected just wide of the net. And the goaltender Burke may have got a piece of it. Now he...
Toaster.
And they had the same great taste that made Aunt Jemima famous.
He really likes them.
Doesn't everyone?
Aunt Jemima, great pancakes for busy mornings.
The United States with a line of Turcotte, Micheletti, and Brett Hull. Team Canada with Ronning, Vilgra, and Fabian Joseph. There's a lead pass. Picked up by Micheletti to Turcotte. The United States on the attack. Turcotte, wrist shot. Now Joseph. Now Micheletti gets it. In front, Hull a shot. Burke got a piece of that. Vilgra, number 18. Off the boards. Here's Fabian Joseph, number 8. Brett Hull took him out. Now Ronning getting it. Centered. Dunn is there to clear it away. To Pat Micheletti, number 8. Into Turcotte. And Joseph back checking. Broke it up. That's why Joseph, no doubt, has been placed out on this line. He's head on against Brett Hull, a big shooter for Team USA. Puck shot in. Taglianetti loses it. Here's Barry in to get it to Ronning. Ronning made a move but couldn't finish it, and Taglianetti passes it over on right wing. Chahaki trying to center. Did. It went wide. Team USA trying to put some pressure on. Stiles in the corner. Stiles Cross ice pass to Schreiber, number 7. Schreiber with Hampshire. Schreiber gets it to Hampshire, but Chahaki intercepts, head manning to Donnelly. Missed him, and back comes Canada. Von Karpen, number 19. Now knocked away by Merce for Chahaki. Donnelly racing after it, but it's cleared by Ryerson. Now Taglianetti for the United States. Into Donnelly, but it's off.
Leon's no money miracle. Guaranteed lowest prices plus pay no money down. No interest and make no payment till June. Your miracle has returned. Visit Leon's now and enjoy it.
Face off at the Team Canada blue line. Cronin for the United States, number 5. Centered, and it's cleared by Sherman. Now Sherman getting it again to Stapleton. Got back in by Sean Cronin. Zarley Zalapski for Canada. To Mike Stapleton, number 15. Head manning it to Karpen. On Karpen, cutting in, shoots. Daskalakis, a fine save. That's twice here in the last couple of minutes. He's made good saves on Karpen. And now icing against Team USA.
Now, Von Karpen has had 2 very good shifts in a row. And looking ahead, wide world. World of Sports on CTV tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, and you'll be looking at the World Figure Skating Exhibitions with Johnny Esoff from Geneva, Switzerland, Canada Cup Wrestling from Ontario Place, Toronto, and the Great Canadian Participation Challenge from St. John, New Brunswick, and that's why they call it the Wide World of Sports.
Greg Patrick, his United States team down 4-0 in this second period. Canada outshooting the U.S. 10-1. And Team Canada has scored 3 goals to go with the first period goal for a 4-0 lead. Taglianetti tried to get it out. Ryerson holding it in. Now Taglianetti over to Sawkins, number 28. Now into center ice, and a long shot by Kurt Colway. Stopped by Burke. Canada quickly right back out. Sherman. Cross ice to McLaren. Leaving it for Hampshire. Daskalakis save. Rebound knocked wide by McLaren, but he hit it with a high stick. Even if it had gone into the net, it would have been no goal, and the whistle sounded immediately.
Pretty nice job of picking it out of midair, but the stick above the shoulder. McLaren has been shifted around a little bit, but he's, take a look at it here. His good hard shot comes in, and the rebound comes up high and batted just a little bit above the shoulder and wide of the net. Now 25 shots on Daskalakis, and in this period, Team Canada has come up with 11 to just 2 for the United States. And I think that just isn't sometimes it isn't, but in this case, it's a very accurate description of the way this period has gone for the U.S.
Here's Cliff Ronning, who's been a big factor for Canada, to Schreiber. Schreiber, number 7. Trying to make a centering play into Ronning. Ronning leaving it there, but it's intercepted by Merch, who gets it to center. Now Merch on the attack, loses to Ronning, who's got a break. Ronning to Schreiber. Shoots, and a sprawling save by Daskalakis. Ronning to Schreiber, and Daskalakis slid out brilliantly. Now Merch in his own zone, clears to Dorian. Dan Dorian ahead to Scott Johnson for the United States. Johnson check, and then Dorian has to chase back for Team USA. Number 18, Dan Dorian. Zalapski knocked it away, held in by Sawkins. Hit the referee. And back comes Team Canada. Sherman moving in. Sherman drops it. Joseph a shot. Blocked by Sawkins in front of the net. Now Vildron, hard worker all night for Canada, trying to squeeze it against the boards, but it comes loose to the Team Canada line. Felix has it there. Felix back for Sherman. Now to Zalapski. Over to Felix. Ahead to Sherman, but picked off by Micheletti. Now to Turcotte. Alfie Turcotte. fires on a backhander. And that cuts the Canada lead to 4-1. Brilliant individual play by Alfie Turcotte.
Well, the thing that Alfie Turcotte can do is scoot, and that's what he did. He just got to jump. He's number 11, and he'll take it all the way now. But watch him as he goes to his backhand. Nice little deke. He's got his man with him, but Zalapsky couldn't hold him. And he got held the puck away from the check, which is probably the key there, Brad.
He did. Alfie Turcotte, as he went around the defenseman, protected the puck, very similar to Makarov did the other day. And when he got his backhand on, Sharnbrook stayed back in the net. And that was the type of play where he should have been out on the shooter because it was just a 1-on-2.
4-1, Canada's lead has been cut. Here's Stapleton, rocketing one wide of the net. Tagley
holds true for copiers. At first glance, the imitations may appear exactly like the real thing. But look closely, and you'll discover nothing is as good as the original.
That last scoring play for the United States, Turcotte from Micheletti, 15:26 the time, to cut Canada's lead to 4-1. Face-off deep in the Team Canada end of the rink. 3:57 now remaining here in period 2. Here's Stapleton for Canada to Carpent. Broken up by Cronin. Now Ryerson dumping it in. And Mersch has it for the United States. Number 14, Rolacek now controlling. Dropped it back, and Rolacek has to go back and get it himself. Cleared it. Stiles knocks it down to Ryerson. Flipped in for Barry. Barry centered, and Schreiber missed on the tip in at the edge of the crease. Back comes Rolacek into Donnelly. Donnelly shooting, and a big save by Team Canada's Sean Burke. Race for the puck, but hustling back was done to beat Barry to it. Meanwhile, a big save moments ago by Burke. Canada with Schreiber, who missed a big opportunity for Canada just before the United States chance. Knocked away by Daskalakis. Held in by Schreiber to Felix. Into the corner for Barry, but Mersch is there to Chahaki. And Chahaki knocked it out to center. Chahaki again, but back at the Team Canada line is Ryerson. To Doucette, knocked down by Dunn. Here's Donnelly, number 12. Donnelly looks, shoots one. And that's blocked by the defenseman Felix and cleared away. And Sockens has to go back. Sockens, number 28. Winding up with a big shot wide. Taglianetti lets a shot go off the side of the net. Taglianetti centered. Good work by Burke with his stick to tip it away. And it comes to center ice. The United States showing signs of revival here, Ron.
Well, they are. It's like Canada has kind of gone into a soft spot in their game, and they've got out of the discipline that they used throughout the first half of this game.
Now Canada on the attack. And it's offside as Stiles carried into the U.S. end of the rink. Let's go right here to Dan Matheson.
In our upcoming intermission, we will talk live with Brett Hall of Team USA, see if he thinks this club can come back tonight. We'll see how the speed skating oval is getting ready for the Olympics. Talk to the president of the organizing committee, Bill Pratt. Brad is back with his highlights and analysis.
There's the president of what they call OCO, the organizing committee, the Calgary Olympics, along with his wife, watching tonight's game. Bill Pratt.
4-1, Canada leading. We're in the final 2 minutes of the second period. Shot in by Canada. Campanelli is back to get it. Clearing it out onto right wing, and Kurt Colway gives it to Middendorf. Middendorf can't center. And now Canada able to clear it out. Taglianetti taking over at his own blue line. Back is Ryerson. Shot to center. Taglianetti knocks it down. Here's Campanelli, but McLaren gets it. Don McLaren, number 20. Taken out by Campanelli and Scott Johnson for the United States. Johnson. Felix there to intercept. Clears it right back out. And Campanelli back for the United States once more. Over to Taglianetti. We're in the final minute of the second period. Canada with a 4-1 lead. Here's Campanelli. Into Dorian. Dorian couldn't center. And Carpin has it for Canada and just clears it out of there. Hustling back is Campanelli, and this is icing against Canada.
Well, we look at Campanelli, Dominic Campanelli, who started in the Toronto organization and then moved on to Montreal and played in the minor leagues for Montreal last year after very nearly making the Montreal Canadiens, and now he's with the Philadelphia organization after graduating from Boston College. He's from Cohasset, Massachusetts. You know where that is, Brad, don't you? Cohasset? You don't know where that is.
I sure do. That's down the South Shore of Massachusetts there. Got a great golf course there at Cohasset.
He knows where all the golf courses are.
Got to have a little good time with it sometimes, and you know that.
Just 39 seconds left in the second period. 4-1 in favor of Canada. It's Micheletti taking the face-off against Ken Berry. And Canada wins it. And try and clear it out. Cronin pinching in. Gets help from Turcotte. Now Cronin. Backhander wide of the net. Schreiber for Canada. Now Merce pinching in. Here's Micheletti. Knocked down by Felix. Pinned there by Felix. But still loose. Micheletti continues to battle. Centered it. Comes to Cronin. A shot wide. Now Micheletti. Number 8. Stearns fired. That's blocked. And now cleared by